Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on my first of the two recaps of a new night. And here I'm going to review WWE Smackdown, the June 16th, 2023 edition of Friday Night Smackdown. Looking like tonight, after this, we're going to be in for a good Dodgers recap tonight with another rant about the Los Angeles Dodgers. After they've choked a 4-0 lead down by one run, they can still get a walk-off. It looks like we're going to have another rant tonight about the Dodgers bullpen. So if they lose, stay tuned for that. Yeah, we're going to review Smackdown now. Really, the main things in this show tonight, at least I'm going to put in the title, is probably Jey Uso making his choice if he's going to stay with the Bloodline or go with his brother Jimmy. And we had the number one Contenders Gauntlet Tag Team Championship match to start the show tonight, which was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good to start the show. And there was a bunch of things. There's a lot of. I feel like a lot happened. There's a few storylines, mostly big thing with Jey Uso, with the Bloodline and the number one Contenders Gauntlet. And there wasn't much notable. Well, and Bayley and Io, tensions there and damage control. Those three things were the main things that happened during the show tonight. So first we have the Gauntlet match. The Street Profits and the Brawling Brutes kicked off really strange. The Street Profits were the first team eliminated here. I didn't really think they would. So that was pretty shocking. They were the first team eliminated and they running the Gauntlet. But definitely wasn't surprising. The Brawling Brutes almost ran the Gauntlet. They then beat the OC. And then hit row in like 5 seconds. Or they beat LWO, the Lucha World Order, and then they beat Hit Row. And then we get to the last team, and Pretty Deadly just caught up a few weeks ago, or during the draft, and they get the roll up. Pretty Deadly wins the number one Contenders Gauntlet match for a shot at the Tag Team Championships. They'll be facing Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Which that should be a good match. I'd like to see that. I like seeing that match. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Pretty Deadly. But then after that, we get a promo. Which, do we really have to get a promo after this though? I really didn't care too much for this. Like, I guess a little promo segment. They're gonna come down to the ring, beat them up. Pretty Deadly pretty much runs away. So since they won, we'll get a tag team championship match. Pretty Deadly versus KO and Sammy. And 2 weeks away, I believe. And we also have Charlotte Flair and Ox. So we already got 2 championship matches scheduled in 2 weeks for SmackDown, I believe. Next, we have Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman backstage. One of the many Paul Heyman segments tonight. But Roman's basically Heyman asked Roman, have you talked to Jey? He basically said no. And he asked, have you talked to Jey? And he said, no, but and then he told him, go talk to Jey. And he said, go talk to Jey. And then he went and talked to him. Which we'll get to in a little bit here. So we have a little backstage segment here. Next we have Io Sky versus Elena Vega. Basically this match was just to pretty much tell more of the story of the cracks and damage control. Because Io Sky's probably going to turn babyface soon. And leave Bayley behind. And Bayley pretty much cost her the match here. And Zelina Vega got the fruit roll up. 1, 2, 3. And she seemed a little bit agitated after she lost. So I think Io Sky's going to turn babyface soon. And leave damage control. So Adam Pearce and Bianca were backstage basically telling Adam Pearce she's tired of being patient. She's coming off kind of like a heel now, which can't wait to see her turn heel. I think she's going to turn heel soon, which I think heel Bianca will be very fun to watch. And next we have Bayley, Io, and Shotzi segment, and Shotzi's basically saying, if you're that confident, you should face me in a match, I think next week on SmackDown, to trying to think of the word. Bayley to put her Money in the Bank spot on the line next week. And Io pretty much accepted for her, and she said, "What do you do that for?" "I was just trying to help." So I think it's going to set up even more tension. Hopefully, that doesn't set up to Bayley costing her Money in the Bank. If it does, who the hell's going to win? Zelina? I mean, I wouldn't mind that. But I want Io. I prefer of all of them Io to win. But we'll see. Bayley's probably going to get replaced to the Money in the Bank. Next, we have the Grayson Waller effect with Charlotte Flair and Bianca. There's one thing about Bianca Belair. She'll cook the four horsewomen, Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha, and Becky, in like promo segments. Because she pretty much cooked Charlotte Flair here, basically saying, "Oh, how does she get a title shot when she comes back after running away for 3 months?" Which is true. How does it every time Charlotte Flair comes back, she wants a title match? And she says, with or without the title champion. Well, why do you come back after like 3 months every single time and demand a championship? So she was spitting some facts here. And basically she said she'll be at ringside in that match in 2 weeks between Charlotte Flair and Asuka. I have a bad feeling Charlotte Flair just going to win another title. She says she respects Asuka, but she's buried her every time she's faced her. Can't even give her a win. She better give her a win. And you better not expect me, if Charlotte Flair wins, come on here and be happy. Go, hoo-hoo, Charlotte won. I'll be angry as hell. Because Asuka deserves so much better. Then we have Paul Heyman and Jey Uso backstage, and Paul Heyman's basically telling, after last week when Jimmy Uso hit him with that super kick, it was intentional. When his super kick aims, he never misses. With Roman Reigns, it was intentional, basically. And with and the other super kick last week to Jay was intentional. And he pretty much teased that if he was in the bloodline, Paul Heyman would be out. So that was interesting. Next, we have AJ Styles and Machin versus Scarlett and Cross. Not really much to say here. Scarlett and Karrion Kross get the win. Cameron Grimes getting the review back, so he's good too. He said how fun it's been Smackdown. And here comes Baron Corbin, attacks him, beats him up. What are we doing with Cameron Grimes? What are we doing? We're feuding him with Baron Corbin on SmackDown. Cameron Grimes are so much better. He's doing legit nothing right now on the main roster. Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar were cutting a promo. Rey Mysterio, former Money in the Bank winner. And LA Knight comes out there and with a sucker punch to Santos Escobar. And Rey Mysterio is about to set for the 619, but he rolled out of the ring. Santos Escobar and LA Knight go one-on-one, and LA Knight shockingly doesn't get the win here. He tried to cheat, tried to use the rope, but Santos kicks the rope and hits him with a fruit roll-up to get the win. So both the favorites, in my opinion, for Money in the Bank lost these singles matches. Tell me they're probably both going to win at Money in the Bank. We'll see. LA Knight then gets a tax match. Rey Mysterio comes out to make the save. LA Knight gets away. But the crowd did have some good reaction to LA Knight in Lexington, Kentucky. But I didn't appreciate the last segment of Lexington, Kentucky. We're having what chants? They were going, what? During the Bloodline segment. That was pretty interesting. The crowd going, what? Most interesting thing on WWE television, they're doing stupid idiots in Kentucky doing what chants. But this is where Jey Uso makes his choice. It got interesting here. Roman was trying to be the master manipulator, basically saying Jimmy Uso, he didn't like think Jey Uso to be the main man. And he says, that true? And he said, yes, it's true. And he basically said, you're out of the Bloodline, and I'm out too. Turns around, super kicks Roman Reigns. Jimmy hits a super kick on Solo Sikoa. They hit double super kicks on Sikoa, and Roman Reigns gets up, and then they both hit him with a super kick. It was amazing, like his facial expressions, him selling for his cousins. Paul Heyman was especially really good out there with his facial expressions. And this is just one of the best things in WWE history. I'm not gonna. I don't think this is an exaggeration. This is one of the best things in WWE history with the Bloodline. Like, this story has been phenomenal from start to finish. The Bloodline's pretty much over now. I think we're gonna get the Usos versus Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns. Maybe Money in the Bank. I think it's the route they're heading. But remember when Cody Rhodes said that one Smackdown, you're gonna lose everybody. You're gonna lose the Usos. Your wise man, I think, Paul Heyman, and Solo Sikoa, and he'll be all alone. And I think that's the route they're going. Eventually, Solo Sikoa's gonna leave. Paul Heyman's not gonna be there anymore. And at his worst, Roman Reigns will lose the belt. Finally, I think. Maybe I don't know, this year at SummerSlam, because Cody's gonna face Brock, probably. But maybe at WrestleMania, next year. But yeah, that's all I'll say for this video. So, until next time back live, I'll give this show a 7 out of 10. That was a pretty above average show. So yeah, until next time back live. Peace.